Well, we have been following Caitlin Little's nearly 6-year journey as she searched for healing from a form of amnesia.
Now, when the traditional medical world couldn't help her, the family turned to therapies that did work. And as you'll see in tonight's Buckley Report, Bob shares her family's hope for the traditional medical world to take notice.
Caitlin Little is a walking wonder. I mean, your mom called it a miracle.
I've heard that before.
If you've been following her story, you know that she spent more than 4 years with anterograde amnesia. She remembered much of the day as she lived it, but then as she slept, those memories disappeared.
My entire life was living for her, being her memory and making sure she was cared for.
The hardest thing probably going through my journey is realizing the stress and the heartache I put on the people I love and care the most about.
I love you.
Though she's now regained her ability to form long-term memories, most people have no idea how close her recovery was to never happening. HIPAA laws required the Littles to sign a release form so that the doctors who initially saw Caitlin and said nothing was wrong could talk to us. Well, they signed them, and then the hospitals would send another and another to sign, which again they did, until eventually the hospital simply declined to talk to us. What the Littles wanted was an answer to why, when they saw Caitlin's issue, traditional health care gave them no more than a collective professional shrug. You wanted to reform the system, and it sounds like the system will not reform.
No.
Bob, you would think that after 5 years and having neurologists and neurosurgeons first tell us there's nothing wrong, she's faking it, take her home and get her counseling. And then after 1.5 to 2 years of saying, oh, well, apparently there is something wrong here, but we can't do anything about it, that some of these other people would be curious and would want to contact us and find out what we did.
What the Littles did was cast a much wider net by allowing us to tell her story, the intimate and difficult moments included.
Initially, I was very against it, and I didn't understand the reason for reaching out to so many people and getting such exposure of something that was very personal to me, my weaknesses, my injury, my struggles.
They even allowed us to show some of it to Caitlin.
Never in my wildest dreams did I think letting my child run would cost her pretty much her life, and that's what it has done.
Because we all knew she'd forget about it by the time she woke up the next day. The idea, though, was that someone somewhere had an answer.
How's your back pain?
Which is what happened when concussion specialist Charles Simkovich saw her story and knew that the protocol he'd been developing over the past 35 years could help, even if much of the traditional medical world isn't on board yet.
You know, anything new in medicine is always really frowned upon at first, and it takes a long time to get accepted, no matter what it is. You know, when I first started doing this work in 1986, I got investigated by the Bureau of Occupational Affairs. An investigator showed up in my office, said, I'm here. There's complaints filed against you. You're doing unscientific methods in your practice. In 1986. And he wrote the report that there was overwhelming evidence that what I do work and is supported by science and medical texts. So I went overnight from a quack to an expert, basically.
It's not just Caitlin. Former UNC star Cameron Johnson credits Simkovich's work after a major concussion for reviving his career as well. And although they haven't reformed the medical system yet, there is a lot more joy in the Little home these days.
Ben is so happy to have his sister back in that relationship, and you just see him glow with pride about her.
There was a phrase in this house called the Caitlin Show, that by necessity, your lives were dedicated more to her than the other three.
Absolutely.
We try to find ways to allow the boys to shine too. Yeah. So Ben is playing lacrosse. In the first year he played on the team, I think he scored 6 goals, and then this year he scored 60. He's in the top 10 in the state.
And now Caitlin can shine right alongside of him.
I don't think there will ever be I will ever get back to the Caitlin before the injury. I don't think that's a attainable goal, but this is a new and improved Caitlin, I guess is a way of looking at it. Hey, Bert.
And the Littles say they get inquiries almost every week from other families who also can't find answers within the traditional medical system, and they tell them the good and bad of what their journey has taught them.